what do you guys think this show is going to be about? Like, if you sat back and you were explaining to your mom, like, why would your mom listen to this show?
Well, we're hoping to educate people in a fun way about retirement.
Make it interesting, right? Yeah. We're going to talk about that later in the guess the numbers game. We're going to make it interesting for sure. We have to make it interesting because people are not going to be watching this stuff if it's not interesting. Yeah. And Austin, like, what would you say to your dad about why he would listen to the Retirement for Life show?
Definitely say to educate himself and also pass down to maybe my younger brother, get him start learning. This isn't something you can start, a few years before retirement. You can start now, even as a young kid. So
yeah, I really believe, and one of the biggest things that I've had a problem with is that I feel like we've learned that the financial industry has set American retirees up to fail. So this show is basically for people who are retired or soon to be retired. And that age range we decided is what, 55 to 75?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, that's basically the range of people that we want to take in this show. Mm-hmm. And I think the reason the financial industry has set people up to fail is kind of twofold. One is more than half the industry is making money by charging commissions.
Yeah.
Do we do that?
No.
No. They're not working at fiduciary capacity. So if you think about this, all your life you're spending money, but you're also trying to save money, right? And so the whole industry is geared to helping people make money, right? What's the newest product? What's the sexy product? How are you going to make money? But really, when a person retires, it's not about making money.
You call it your downhill planning.
Mm-hmm. That's the most important part.
Yeah.
The most important part of your financial life is not making money $1 million on Bitcoin. It's not about building your wealth. That just comes from saving over time, right?
Yeah, you're almost not thinking about it.
So the industry is set up to get commissions from people and help them make money, but nobody wants to sit there and spend an hour with a person like you just did today, accumulate. How many accounts did that guy have?
Oh, things were everywhere.
Yeah, nobody wants to sit down and just help a person and look at their Social Security. And so the industry is set up to fail retirees. Now, here's the thing that concerns me the most about retirees. If you look at, speaking of guess the numbers game, how many $1 trillion of retirement assets do you think there are?
Oh my gosh.
Trillions.
You got this one. I have the numbers later.
10.
Yeah, that's a great guess. It's like 29 million trillion dollars.
Wow.
Okay. So that's a 29 with 12 zeros after it. 40% of that is in a defined contribution plan, which is like basically a 401k.
Yeah.
All right. Now, this is my dad's problem, or was my dad's problem. When you are 35, the 401k is an absolute awesome way to save money. Tax deferral, blah, blah, blah. You use the target date funds.
Yep.
But what people don't realize is that when you turn 60, that 401k becomes an absolute detriment to your retirement, because that's exactly what happened to my dad.
Yeah.
And there's this false sense of security for 40% of retirement assets out there. I'm in a 401k. My employer picked it out. It's good. No, it's not good, because you could literally lose half of what you have. Now, what about the other 60% of retirement assets? Okay. So this bucket of 60% of people, what percent of those people, so you got 60%, how many of them have a financial advisor in retirement?
I'll guess 10%.
Go ahead. Give me a number.
I'll go 15.
Yeah. So it's basically like half and half. 30% are using an advisor and 30% are not. And, we're going to talk about the 5 questions to ask, the 5 topics to discuss with your financial advisor.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons why they don't have a financial advisor. But if you think about a person who, like my dad, who maybe lost 30% of his money, 25% of his money, 50% of your money, that small fee that you're paying for a fiduciary advisor, sometimes people are thinking, I don't want to spend that money.
Yeah.
But after you lose half of your portfolio, you're like, man, I should have. I think those people are a disadvantage. But the 30%, that leaves the people that do have a financial advisor. Okay. How many of those are working with a fiduciary? How many of those assets?
Of the 30%, who's
Yeah.
using?
The people using an advisor, how many are using a fiduciary? How many of those assets are in a fiduciary capacity?
5% of those people are using a fiduciary advisor.
Yeah, I'd say around there.
It's about half. And so half of the people that are using an advisor are not even getting the right, what would you say, like the right service, or they're not being treated properly?
Best
Yeah.
interest for them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we said we're going to make this podcast show fun, interesting. I've been talking too long about it. 3 things we're going to do in Retirement for Life. We're going to educate. We're going to give you solutions, not just educate in a boring way. Austin, you're going to show us later what boring is.
Mm-hmm.
This is not going to be boring. The show is going to be great content. It's going to be interesting, giving the solutions, and we're also going to help people have fun along the way.